Hello, and then welcome back to another episode of Pork Puck Hockey. Now, we only talk hockey, as you guys know, and we're back here for yet another one with your host, JBACS. Wow, do we got a lot of news on the injury front to start us off today. Not a super long episode, but we're going to get right into her, as always. So, the Blues have lost D-man, Carl Gunnarsson. He's going to be out for the season with a right knee injury. Keep that in mind as we go through these next injuries, but hurts the blue line there for St. Louis, as they're always a competitive team and having some issues with the injuries, just like everybody else. I mean, if it's not COVID, they're getting injured this year, and it's quite interesting. Next up, we're going to talk about the Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres have also lost a D-man with, lo and behold, a knee injury. Kind of a common theme this year is knee injuries for the NHL boys. That's kind of why I'm wearing the Sabres jersey today, because we're talking about them a little bit as their struggles continue. Tough go for them early on here in the season, and these injuries, obviously the D-man out with a knee injury, and then also without a goaltender, Linus Ullmark, he's out for now, and their injury woes continue. Not exactly sure what he's out with and how long that timetable is, but the injury report came across and he's hurt. So Sabres fighting injuries and other team issues there. Taylor Hall came into town, but he doesn't seem to be right in the ship, and Eichel still playing well, but tough goes up in Buffalo. Pittsburgh Penguins, Jason Zucker, he's going to be out indefinitely, again, with a leg injury. As I said, it's a common theme, and the Penguins lose a pretty good depth forward there, Jason Zucker. Not sure how long he's out, as they said, indefinitely, but we'll see. He does hurt not having him in the lineup, as he brings some speed and skill and that veteran presence. Continuing on the injury stats, this is kind of a good news injury update. The King Henrik Lundqvist, is back in the net. Well, that's not long-term in the net, just back in the net for practice-ish, as he just returned to the ice with post-open heart surgery. And everybody got excited seeing him back skating in a Capitals uniform. And they're saying he probably won't return this year, but he said give him a month and we'll reevaluate. So we're going to give him a couple months here and see if he can maybe return. He still loves the game, he said. So nice to see somebody back on the ice like that. Next up, we're going to give a congratulations to Mr. Zach Parise, who has played over 800 games now, but the other night he played in his 800th 800th points now, not games. Playing great hockey, long-time career, points with the Wild and the Devils, and now he's in that 800 club. So congrats to Zach Parise. Next up, we're going to talk about a new hockey team coming to town. The Hershey, Pennsylvania area is going to welcome their second hockey team, and that team's going to start playing at the Hershey Park Arena, the old home of the Hershey Bears, who now play in the Giant Center. Bruce Boudreau, longtime Bears coach, Washington Capitol coach, coached the Wild, the Ducks. He's been around in the NHL. He's opening up this USPHL team, and the Hershey Bears, well, of course, Boudreau's got to have a fitting name to go along with the Bears, and this team's going to be called the Hershey Cubs. They're set to play in the arena there in Hershey, and kind of be cool to see another team come to the local area here. We got some head coaching changes out in Montreal. The Habs have had an interesting season. I mean, they're still right there in the mix, as you'll see when we get into the standings, but they fired their head coach, Claude Julien. And Dominic Ducharme, interesting name. He's going to take over and see if he can't keep the ship righted there. Weird move. They lost pretty bad the other night, but according to the news and reports, that wasn't the reason he was given the boot. So we'll see what happens up there in Montreal. Trevor Zegras of the Anaheim Ducks. He's made his NHL debut, and he's making an instant impact. Not sure how many points, but he seems to be making his way into the news. He was the USA World Junior Star back in the early tournament before the season had started here. And he was playing in the AHL for their minor league team there. But now that he's in the NHL, I think he's going to stay, as he's a very good young talent and great with the puck, very fast. Good to see him playing for Anaheim. Another firsts, the Sens, Eric Brandstrom, and the Chicago Blackhawks, Brandon Hagel, have scored their first NHL goals, so congrats to them. Pretty good AHL players and pretty good prospects for both teams. So nice to see some young faces getting into the NHL this year and making an instant impact. So that's all I got as far as news goes today. But let's take a look at the stats and see how they've changed in the past week. Connor McDavid. I mean, what can I say? McDavid's he's gonna sit atop the points for a while, and that's where he's at. He's got 40 points. Leon Draisaitl, 34. Patty Kane, 31. Austin Matthews, 31. Mitchie Marner, 30. And Mark Scheifele, 28. Now the goals leaders, pretty similar names here. Austin Matthews leads the way with 18. Brock Besser with 12. Connor McDavid with 14. Tyler Toffoli with 12. Mark Scheifele with 11. Dustin Brown playing really good, 11. Pretty cool interview Dustin Brown had, talking about how his kids say he's not any good. But when you got 11 goals in this time frame of hockey and this COVID-stricken season, I still think he's pretty good. So that's our goals leaders. Assists, McDavid 26, Draisaitl 24, Patty Kane 21, Mitchie Marner 21, and Quinn Hughes with 19 out there. The goaltenders, leading the way with GAA, Peter Mrazek 0.99, Marc-Andre Fleury 1.55, Mike Smith 1.73, Andrei Vasilevsky finally making some noise, getting back in the mix here, 1.87, Jack Campbell 2.0, and Philip Grubauer 2.01. And we take a look at the save percentage. Peter Mrazek 0.955, Mike Smith 0.944, Marc-Andre Fleury with a 0.942, and Andrei Vasilevsky 0.935. He's making his way up there. Shutouts, Semyon Varlamov, 3, Marc-Andre Fleury, 3, Johnny Gibson, 3, Mike Smith, 2, and Anton Khudobin with 2. Rookies, we'll give a quick little rookie update here. If you've been paying attention to hockey lately, you know who Kirill Kaprizov is of the Minnesota Wild. He's making some noise out there for the Wild with 16 points in his NHL career so far. Pretty good prospect there, leading the way over Josh Norris with 12, Tim Stützle with 11, Pius Suter with 11, and Ty Smith with 10, round out top there, and Gabe Vilardi fighting for that 10-point mark at 9. Rookie goal leader, Pius Suter, I'm not sure exactly how to say his name. Haven't watched a Hawks game this year, so he's got 6 points. Philip Kurashev has 5 goals, Tim Stützle 5 goals, and Kirill Kaprizov with 5. And then the assist leader, Kirill Kaprizov with 11, and Josh Norris with 8, Ty Smith 8, Niels Hoglander with 6, and Tim Stützle with 6. Stützle's a very good player for Ottawa. He and Tkachuk seem to be getting along pretty well out there and doing some pretty good things. All right, we'll give you a little rundown here of the standings. Toronto leads the North Division with 32 points. Edmonton right behind them with 28. Winnipeg 25. Montreal 22 rounds out the top 4. Calgary right there with 22 as well. So very interesting to see that Montreal head coaching change. Central Division, we got the Florida Panthers 28. Tampa Bay Lightning 27. So that Sunshine State down there, Florida, representing hockey pretty well right now. Chicago 26, Carolina 25, and Columbus 21. We got the East Division. The Capitals lead the way with 26 points. Boston Bruins, 24 points. Philadelphia Flyers, 23. New York Islanders, 23. And the Pittsburgh Penguins with 21. So pretty tight race there in the East. We'll head out west here real quick. Another tight race there. Vegas, 23. Minnesota, 22. Thanks in part to Koprasov leading the way out there. St. Louis, 22. Colorado Avalanche, 21. And the Los Angeles Kings and Arizona Coyotes all have 21 points. So that's what I got for you today. But we're going to give a quick sponsor shout out here to the sounds of Pork Puck. Sun Reaver, we thank them every week for their sweet intros. And as you guys saw, last week's episode featured Nate Dunn, the man behind the music. So thanks to them for sponsoring us with the music. And we'd also like to give a quick shout out to Gently Poured Candles. They are the smells of Pork Puck Hockey. Very good scent. If you want to check them out, they're on Instagram and the internet. I will share their tags here at the end of the video. But we're going to try and get the man behind Gently Poured on a Zoom video collab here in the coming weeks. I travel next week for work, but I will be back and better than ever. JBACS out for today. We'll catch you next week.